Citizens of the underworld, welcome back to the Hell City Builder of the Dead. And today I invite you to live in my underworld city, which may not be the most pleasant. Now today we have been sponsored by Metropolis to check out another chapter in this, where you can have a look at this game. There's a demo and prologue thing that you can check out, and it's essentially inspired by various cultures. Underworld city builder. So we have checked out Namazu the Earthshaker, but today we're going into the Indonesian inspired one, which is a bit closer to where I'm from because I'm from Southeast Asia, and Rangda the Widow is the titan that we have to appease today. And the way this game works is you get a number of souls flowing into your city based on a specific disaster, and this is based on the Krakatoa eruption. Just for some context for this mission, we did actually play the first mission last time, which was against Namazu the Earthshaker, and it was all about flooding and water disasters, but I was a bit slow on building that time, so I kind of didn't really make it to the end. This time I'm gonna try my best and go a little bit faster to really get Rangda under control, and I have some hope that maybe we can actually win this time, but let's see how it goes. Anyway, here we are at the start of the mission, and there are a number of stories and texts here, and I'm going to pause the game because I've learned my lesson from last time where time passes in this game, and the story continues whether you're ready for it or not. And you can see in the top left the current objectives of things. And I want to set up this city in a way that is going to work a little bit better. So here we have the center of our city, Purgatoria. And if you don't know how this game works, what happens is if I unpause, you'll see a bit of glowing rain. Those are actually depositing little souls. Like each beam of light does actually drop a soul. If you see, there's like, it just dropped this one here, and the souls hang out at this weight stone where they hang out here under the soul counter. So we know from the mission briefing that the total number of souls on this mission will be around 30-something thousand. Now these souls, when there's space in our city, they will walk over here, and you can see some already making their way over. The red ones are very unhappy. The yellow ones are kind of unhappy. If they're chill, they'll be like a light blue. And this is where they go, to Purgatoria. So, the game is not on Steam about it. It is. You have to write it better. Oh, you mean the Hell City of the... Oh yeah, because I think it's just the free prologue right now, which if you want to try the free prologue, just click the link. It posts once in a while. And it's just to try for free. The game's not for sale yet, so it's like one of the best sponsors. Don't give them money, just go try the game. So the souls head over here to Purgatoria. I'm gonna get rid of this text there. And they get processed into sinners. Sinners are the citizens of your city. And they are the workforce, but also a resource. Because the primary resources over here, you can see the primary resources tend to have things like blood, or cries, or fear. And how you get these, waste is actually more of a physical resource. But the other three, you take these sinners and turn them into those, which removes the sinner from being a thing. So you have this turnover of souls flowing in, souls being turned into sinners, processed at Purgatoria, and then the sinners then being used up in your city for either resources or for labor. So one thing I have learned in this game is the distance from Purgatoria does affect how efficient things are. So you can see when you mouse over, there's hauling time. So a lot of this stuff isn't quite tutorialized so clearly yet. They're still working on figuring out how to get people to understand this stuff. And these bloody pumps, what is being hauled to the bloody pumps are sinners. So if you build a lot of these bloody pumps far away, it can turn a hauling time of 60 seconds to 120 seconds. It can literally be half as efficient if you build it out here. So what you want to do is build the things where you tend to be bottlenecked, which I tend to be bottlenecked on blood, closer to Purgatoria. So what I can do is I'm going to extend a road out. Everything flows along these roads. I'm going to extend a road out here as well. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Extend the road out here. Extend the road out here. Okay, good. Do that. And I want to build the bloody pumps as close as possible. So hauling time, 56 seconds here, but you can see it gets slower as you go out. So I want to definitely start by putting a couple bloody pumps there. I tend to be very short on this. And checking the cost here, you can see it costs sinners to build these. It will take 20 sinners to build a bloody pump. So I'm going to do the same on this side and just put another 2 over there. And these should be as efficient as bloody pumps can be. Almost. I think you could technically build it 1 tile closer, whatever. Then we're going to get the other basic resources. So we have our basic resources here. We need a sulking refinery, which I will build here. Yeah, I'll build a sulking refinery here, which produces waste. I don't think I need the others right now, but it'll be good to have them built. But what I really need is the cauldron, because the cauldron is what processes primary resources into secondary resources. So I'm going to build the cauldron right there and have these start to be constructed. There we go. So they're all being constructed now. Looking around the map, there's a lot of things we can look at. You can interact with Rangda. There's certain story beats and also decrees, mission modifiers, which you get to choose. So all core resource production buildings increase by 60%, but agitation is higher, or 100% and agitation is even higher. So I'm going to go for doubling our core resource production buildings. In exchange, it makes the souls more unhappy. But on this particular mission, you can see there are some tutorializations. On this particular mission, there's a way to calm the souls. You just have to sing to them. See these really unhappy red souls? Don't worry, we can recruit the beautiful siren. And if you've ever seen horror depictions of scary creatures in Asia, they tend to look something like this. Beautiful voice. Just chill out the souls. Now, if you let the souls just be unhappy, they start to turn into enemy units. And there's various enemy units out there. I know how all this works. So the tutorialization's okay. But see, if you check the right side of the top bar here, we have our friendly soldiers. But there's also these sadists, which are enemy units that tend to wreck stuff, steal resources, damage buildings, kill your people, stuff like that. So there looks like a lot of resources up here. Basically, it's primary resources, secondary resources, tertiary resources, and then weapons to turn into soldiers, and enemies are counted there. Lots of stuff up there. So we're going to keep building our things here because we need to just have a lot of stuff. And one thing that I kind of want to do also is to put down some storage, because you can't really produce things without storage. And I think I want to have a warehouse, which I will pop here. Let's put a warehouse there. I'm planning for future bloody pumps. I'm going to build a warehouse to store things. But main thing here is to actually just get our resources going. Without producing waste, well, the building is done there. Workers then make their way over and start working there. In terms of resources, I can increase... I can build a waste mine here, which increases our waste production. And a lot of things at the start. See, I have our cauldron, we want to produce a lot of embers, which there's all these resource formulas, which takes a while to get used to. So you can see here, I'm going to pause. No, don't undo that. I'm going to pause the game. So we could feed blood, and we make bones. Or we could do waste, and we get embers. Or we could do fear, and get mercury. Or we could do fear and waste, and we get crystals. Or we could do blood and fear, and we get hemoglobins. Or we could do waste and blood, and we get rust. So that's processing the primary resources into the 6 secondary resources in this cauldron. That's how that works. So right now we need a lot of embers because it's kind of the main resource required to build a lot of these starting buildings. They take embers to do that. Even building another cauldron is going to take embers. So the Bloody Pump, currently, we have plenty of surplus. All of these buildings can be upgraded, by the way. You see, upgrading buildings tends to take rust, but upgrading these buildings makes them far more efficient. It's way more efficient to upgrade than to build new ones. So I'm actually going to start upgrading this Bloody Pump now to get that going. And as we continue going, I probably want to get another cauldron because we just need so many embers. But we do have to keep up on waste production as well. But in terms of our workforce, we can run out of that as well. And to increase our workforce, we need to build more houses, or rather tombs. But first, let's get a second cauldron down. I'll just pop it here. Get a second cauldron down. And I will plan a bit of a housing area, which I will extend this road out like this, extend the road out like this, down to there, and over to here. And that will be a good amount of space for houses, which I will be needing some soon. You need a lot of labor and a lot of sinners in your city because you can see here, sinners will die during production. That's how you get the blood, okay? It doesn't come from nothing. We reform the souls into these physical beings, and then we need their blood, which is then used to process other things and run buildings. Okay, there's an economy to run in hell. Now, these objectives, we do need to work our way towards them. So we can't produce things without some storage. So we do need an armory. So you can see that takes embers as well. We're going to need a blacksmith, takes embers. We're going to need a granary, that takes embers. And we're going to need sirens crypts, that takes embers. Tombs also takes embers. We just need embers for everything. We just have to keep an eye to make sure we don't run out of our workforce. So this thing, you can see, it's just taking the waste that we have and turning it into embers. I'm not sure if we can keep that up so much. We do have the warehouse, which increases our storage capacity for things. But I think right now what I want to do is I need an armory and a granary, and then we can start producing things. So we can pop a granary down. So I'm having my storage stuff over here. So I'm going to pop the granary over there. It's a pretty big building. And then in the granary, we store liquor, which is what we use to feed our soldiers. They drink this stuff, mostly. So we want to be producing those at some point. The second cauldron is done. Let's double produce embers. But that is going to severely use up our waste. We can spend 120 hemoglobins to boost our efficiency of this particular building, which I'm going to do because we just need a lot more waste to turn into embers so that we can keep double producing embers here. Okay, those roads are done. Granary's coming down. I need to build an armory, which I can pop. I'll extend this road a bit. I want to make sure that we can extend this road out this way as well. Armory, how big is it? Doesn't quite fit there. Yeah, armory is a bit weird. I'm gonna pop it down this side, I guess. Can I pop it here? I'll put the armory there. Okay, this waste mine was built. It increases Sulking Refinery's production speed by 25%. So building another armory there. We've got the granary coming as well. So then we want to go into the production of stuff. So we go to resources. So we're starting to run out of people. So what we need to do is start building housing. So let us now get housing down. The problem with building housing is it takes sinners to build houses. So it's you have to make sure you preemptively build some of these. But you can always free up labor by, for example, taking a look at an existing thing, and you can reduce the workforce in that structure. So currently we have no more available sinners because our population is just not high enough. What we can do instead, like, we don't need storage in the granary right now. And I will only be storing liquor at the start, but I can completely disable the granary. And you see, it doesn't happen immediately. You change to what you want to do, and you can see this actually starts circling around. And it's going to remove that workforce and put 50 back into my workforce. Each starting house is only going to house 8 unless we upgrade them. To upgrade them, we're going to need some rust, which is waste and blood. So we're currently a bit short on waste because we've just been double producing embers. If I switch... just got to make sure some waste stocks up here. In terms of rust... Oh, we don't have any storage space for rust. So when there's no storage space, we can't produce anymore. So we actually have to start using up some rust. Would it make sense if I upgrade embers, rust? Yeah, we can use up some rust. And that should then start producing some rust, so we're not wasting time here. The armory is done as well. We can free up this labor, because we're not producing weapons yet. These houses are now done. We can begin upgrading these houses to increase our population. Nope, nope. There we go. So we have some free labor now. Let's go ahead and... I'm going to pause the game because you can see this. The next stage is on the way already. We need to start producing everything. So what I need is a blacksmith. So the blacksmith, I'll put it across from the armory. Is there room here? It would block off that road, which is a little awkward. Maybe what I'll do is I'll extend this road out. I think it has to be like this to fit the blacksmith. No, it's too big. I drew this road wrong. You know what? I probably don't want it there anyway. It's fine. Probably put it over here. Yeah, it makes sense if I put it over here. So resources, blacksmith, just pop it here. And I will also want a brewery, which needs more embers and sinners. So the blacksmith will then be able to produce harps. And I would want to start having some housing for our sirens as well. Let's go ahead and pop. One siren's crypt. Because our soldiers need to live in something. Okay. So, clock is ticking. We need to recruit 30 sirens, and so this is the blacksmith, so that we also need to have the brewery. We just need some embers. So you can see our labor force is going up because we built some houses. We are slowly upgrading those as well. We need... Are we still producing embers? Okay, I think they're hauling resources. So some things in this game are not quite fully communicated yet. You can see if there's a shortage of resources, but there are hauling times to like move things around. So if like you can see these people, they're all carrying stuff everywhere. So sometimes things don't run because things aren't actually there yet. Okay, we did actually upgrade this bloody pump to the max level, which now produces 31 a cycle compared to 9 plus 4 there. So it's very worth it to upgrade. I think I have enough to build the brewery. Let's pop this over this side. 50 seconds, 41 seconds. Let's just put it here. Pop the brewery there. And then we can start producing things. I just want to have enough to store 100 in the granary as well. So I'm just going to put 7 workers into there. And we also only need to store harps right now. And I'm just going to store... I'm going to put like 5 workers in there to let harps be able to be stored. Now here, I want to start producing harps, which is going to take crystals and bones. That will now produce harps once the resources are, once there's storage available for it. So you see, the workers don't just teleport there. It takes time to get the workers in. Okay. So these houses, can I continue to upgrade them? Yes. Costs embers. Do I need to build anything else? It is asking me to... I also need to build a sanctum, because that's where we recruit soldiers. So I better build this next. Okay, so that's working. Oh, I did this. There we... I just have some storage there. Oh, I see. There's a slight bug there. No worries. We'll do that. Okay, so we're now producing harps. I need to build this sanctum. I need a bit of embers. Are we getting embers? We are getting embers. I'll build the sanctum over on this side. And then that will allow us to recruit sirens. So we don't have to hit these objectives before the time runs out, but it kind of tells you what should be done. I can't double produce embers. Produce some bones. Do we have storage space for bones? I don't have storage space for bones. What can I produce here? I'm full on rust. Blood, fear. I could convert some fear, because I've got a lot of fear, into hemoglobins. This, we need to start producing liquor, which is cries and blood. The liquor is literally drinking your tears. To produce tears, by the way, we need to build a needle cage. How else do you get cries? Just poke them. Okay, sanctum's coming down. That's still producing. We have produced harps. Okay, so we're actually maxed out on harps. So I don't need this many people working in the blacksmith. I'm gonna free up some labor there. We have produced some liquor. We can store 100. Once we get to 100, we're producing like 19 a cycle there. The sanctum is down. We're now recruiting sirens. So I do now need to increase our siren capacity. We're going to a total of 3 of those. Then I'm gonna upgrade a house. Get these houses to level 3. And you can see how blood can really be used up very quickly. All of these buildings take blood per cycle to even function. Reducing the labor does reduce how much blood is consumed. So there's all of these things where if you play this game, on your first run, it can be very confusing and you'll probably lose. But once you play through a bit, you start to figure things out. We almost have enough liquor here. So I'm going to drop my workforce here to 10. Oh, it actually pauses the production. It's okay. There we go. This should do cycle. How much do I have? 98. Yeah, we gotta... I should have let that finish first. That's my bad. You just produce rust if we ever use it up. We actually have a decent amount here. I can upgrade these 4 houses to level 3. And then, in terms of producing more, I need to start storing more. So another storage building is called the Keep. By the way, storage buildings can also be upgraded. But I want to build a Keep, which costs 100 embers, which we are getting soon. So all of these objectives, I managed to finish them before the story beat happens. So that's very important to note, because that means we're on schedule. So I'm now going to build a keep, which is a humongously ginormous structure. I'm just going to pop it over here. Look at this thing. Just a guy comes out to build the... Look at this. He's holding like a giant ring. Like this... Like the keep is actually going to be constructed with that guy there. And that is a story beat. So on this mission, we're trying to quell or stop Rangda, who's like raging, stewing in the caldera down there. This may be the way to do it. Look at this absolute Chad of a statue. Ah, some magical water to flood Rangda. That makes sense. But Rangda's upset and set my buildings on fire, which prevents them from doing things until the fire passes. The heat wave stops. As you go through the story, you can see the soul rain picks up again, just to refill the souls. So they're not all flowing in constantly, because if they all came in at the start, siren production is faster but more expensive. Let's make them cheaper and slower. Otherwise, if all 30,000 souls flowed in at the start of the mission, you would just not be able to deal with them. So I know how all this works. Okay, so now it's saying convert souls to sinners. No problem, we're doing a lot of that. Construct 20 tombs and a Babel of Lies. The Babel of Lies is a building to help deal with the souls going out of control here. You can see one soul here became really upset, became a shadow. Think of it in sort of Bleach fashion, I guess. Bleach, the anime. You know, when the soul gets really upset, they become hollows. That sort of thing. So these are all level 3 houses. Yeah. I can definitely quite easily produce a Babel of Lies. We just need more embers, which means we need more waste. Let's produce this up. The keep is almost done. And we don't need to be storing a lot of these things. We don't need, like, this much storage on crystals. Embers, yes. We don't need that much storage on hemoglobins. So bones we do need. Embers and rust are kind of our primary resources. So bones we can use to upgrade Purgatoria, which is very good to have. It just makes everything better. Okay. You produce bones, because that only takes blood, and we do have a surplus of blood. Now, for housing, to get 20 of these, we're going to need a lot. So these we can build further away, because the hauling time is just for a one-time construction, but there's no flow of resources to tombs. That's a lot. Okay. We've used up all our spare workforce to start building that, but it's okay. The houses will increase the workforce. So we're going to just keep producing bones on the back here. If we manage to get 500, we can upgrade Purgatoria. You can see these people, they're going to grab resources, and then they go and deliver resources. So that's why hauling time was like 2 minutes on some of these, because they actually have to go and get the resources out of this. In terms of blood, you can see, so we do stock up. I don't know if there's a particular maximum limit on how much blood we can store. I think it's just the big pool of blood. So there's no limit to how much blood we can have in storage. But you can see it does get used up. We had like 1,000 something. We're now at like 900 something because I'm producing these bones. There they go. Going to build those houses. Did I get any? Yeah, I got some. Let's build that, build that. Because we needed 20 more houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Another 4 more. Not counting the Babel of Lies that we need to build, which also takes embers and 100 sinners. So we need 100 sinners to build this Babel of Lies. It's okay. If we have spare embers and rust, we can upgrade our bloody pumps, which I should definitely do. Let's get them all up, because bloody pumps consume sinners. So if we build more bloody pumps, we lose more sinners. But if we upgrade the bloody pump, we use the same number of sinners for more blood. But you can see upgrading them does stop their production. So you can very quickly run out of things here. I think I do have enough blood in storage to get enough bones to upgrade Purgatoria. Upgrading Purgatoria increases the conversion rate of souls to sinners. You can see 12 seconds to 10 seconds. It's a big deal. So we do need that. You can see all this details here. Max population, total tomb capacity, etc. Building caps go up with upgrading. So it's just generally good to do. Look how many workers we have going out to deliver all this stuff. But our population is now going up. We needed 4 more tombs, I think it was. Where should I put them? Kind of ran out of space here. Let's build a road. Maybe I build a road out this way. Oh, I ran out of the resource needed to build roads. Let's do 2, 3, 4. Okay, that should be 20 more tombs. Our blood is quite low. How much storage? We can store a total of 600 bones. We need 500 to upgrade Purgatoria. Because the conversion rate is important. Because if you're using up sinners, sinners are disappearing. So if your conversion rate is not fast enough, even if you can support a higher population, you can't convert the souls fast enough to maintain or increase your population. So upgrading Purgatoria is a big deal in terms of just keeping your population up. Otherwise, you got to do some other tricks to really keep things going, which, by the way, there are, and we'll be getting into those a little bit later in the mission. There's stuff like this. There's stuff like this. There's so many things. I almost have enough bones. And I think our blood supply should start picking up once these upgrades finish. Yeah, that's now producing again. Bones. We're... okay, these houses have upgraded. Yep. In terms of building that Babel of Lies, and we need 100 spare sinners. Oh, we just... yeah, so sometimes you'd lose a lot of people doing things, and it's a bit hard to keep track of why that happens. So you see our population was like 600 something, it dropped straight down to 200, and it can seem a little weird why that happens sometimes. And it could be for a number of things. Like, they could just have suddenly all been consumed by various structures. Or maybe some enemies just killed some of them. And it's can be hard to keep track as to why that's happening in the game right now. So sometimes you see, oh, that thing just stopped producing bones because like the workforce here disappeared. Number of things can happen. Could be the fire killed some people. So things can fluctuate and it can be a little confusing. Like there tends to be reasons why they happen in this game, but it can be a little unclear. And that's something that I think the developers can just continue to work on. So the bloody pumps are now all upgraded. We've almost got enough tombs. We've converted enough souls. I do need to... Yeah, I just need to have more sinners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade Purgatoria to level 2. And that takes a little while, but it will increase our soul to sinner conversion rate. And I can continue to produce bones and embers, I think. Yeah, embers are still low. We could do with more rust as well. So besides that, we can now begin upgrading our tombs to bring in even more people. We've used up our rust. So I can actually change my bone production to rust, I think. Because we want to focus on building those. Also, oh, okay, sinners are starting to come in because of all the new houses. Let's build the Babel of Lies. This is a 4x4 structure. Where can I pop it? Can it fit here? Sure, go there. We'll put the Babel of Lies there. Okay. But so far you can see in terms of our sirens, we actually have like 83 sirens hanging around. Is our liquor production okay? Oh, we don't have cries. We've run out of cries, right? Because I didn't build all the basic resource buildings. So we need to build a needle cage. And I need to build a dead hope. I don't think I need the other ones. Infernal Abyss. Increase... Oh, that's a resource building. Don't know if this... I think you have to build... There's a waste pile there. I don't know if it's worth it to like put a waste mine over there. I guess we should, right? Let's put a waste mine over there. If you look around, you can actually find certain resources to exploit if you actually explore the map. This is something that we will be getting to soon. But we've got time to do that. So Dead Hope and Needle Cage will produce the basic resources. We're starting to get more people. And I think we continue to upgrade our tombs. If we get them all to level 3, we'll have so much more population. Out of embers, okay. Purgatoria is slowly upgrading. It takes a while to upgrade the main structure here. This is all really complicated, but you can see how I understand it. Because I've played like 2 missions worth of gameplay, so I figured it all out. But that's why the developers are doing this prologue, to try and figure out how do we, like, it all makes sense once you know how it works, but like communicating it all to people can be very tricky. Like, I'm not even touching these extra buildings yet. I'm trying to ease you all into it. But generally, all of this starts to look simple over time. These building games are becoming more esoteric. I mean, at least it's different, right? How many building... There's a waste pile right there. I never noticed that. How many building games are, like, exactly the same? Waste mine. Let's put one there. Yeah, just looking around for any resources I missed. Okay, the houses are beginning to upgrade. These are now level 2. You want to make them level 3 if possible. Is this almost done? 80%. Okay, I'm using up all the embers. Like, I could... No, I don't think I can double produce embers because I'm already low on waste. Oh, we're low on blood. Oh, we've used up all of our blood. That's a bit of a problem. Do that. Produce some crystals. Okay, so what that means is we need to increase our blood supply. So let's go ahead and put down another bloody pump there. So we're still producing embers. I haven't fully upgraded these bloody pumps, but I know, you know, if you start upgrading an existing bloody pump, it stops producing blood, which can then put a dampener on things. Oh, look, Purgatoria has upgraded. We've got a ghost skeleton hanging onto it now. It's now converting souls faster to more quickly fill up our sinner population there. And also on this thing here, I'm just gonna shift over like 56 people. This is a structure that is important to the mission, and it needs to be built. And I'm just getting a bit of a head start on it before the game actually tells me to do it. Okay. Now, Purgatoria, you can see, does go up to level 5. So it can get quite efficient with things. We are actually full on crystals. So cries and fear have come back up. Do we need to keep producing harps? I guess slowly, yeah. It seems to be maintaining. Our high siren population seems to be keeping the souls happy enough. Dead Hope, Needle Cage, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. So blood is a little bit locked up here. I'm just gonna... We could go to maximum bloody pumps here. You can build a maximum of 12. So I've now put down a total of 9. Because blood can be turned into bones, and bones can be turned into upgrading Purgatoria, which turning souls into sinners faster, which the extra sinners can be then turned into blood. The economy is a cycle in hell. And also to increase our total population, we just keep upgrading houses. Okay. So we wanted to produce more rust here. Wow, waste has gone up a lot more now because I think the waste mines have come in. So let's double produce embers. I assume the one over here did actually get built. Yeah. They are working it. Okay. All right. A true capitalist dream. We managed to spread the glory of monetary gain. I mean, at least there's no money in hell, right? We just keep upgrading houses until they look like these ones. These are all level 3. Okay, no more rust. Ah, we hit the story beat. Ah, the next enemy. Low polygonal seducer demon. I'm pretty sure this is safe for YouTube. I'm pretty sure it is. It's quite low poly. So this is obviously a problem for our sinners. The 4 heads, well, technically it's like 3 heads but 4 faces. It does throw you off a little bit. Look at her, making all our souls unhappy. So that's a sudden wave of succubi, and we need to deal with that. Demonetized, or should I say demonetized? Yes, here comes the heresy. So to deal with them, we have to hit them with maces. That's not a joke. The solution to these succubi is to hit them with maces. Succubus health increased, but sirens calm souls more. Succubus agitate souls less, but souls turning chance increased by 25%. I think agitating less means we get less demons anyway. So let's do that. So to deal with the succubi, you have to get the next soldier, which are sentries, and sentries are armed with maces. So to get those, we need to build a guardhouse. I really built this road wrong, huh? We need to build a guardhouse, which I can now. Let me extend this road out here. Let me do this, do that. I can also extend a road around this way, I think. Just gonna change this road, and maybe this will fit something. So if I build a guardhouse there, I can then get some sentries chambers, which we're gonna need 3 of. Can I fit them here? 1, 2, 3. I'll build 3 sentry chambers there. We then can also replenish our mace supply, which costs rust and embers. And we do have storage space for maces. How's our workforce? Doing okay. Blood supply has picked back up, so I will produce some bones. Construct chambers to the House of Sentries. And then once we get sentries armed with maces, they go out and just bonk the succubi until they stop. They literally, the solution to the succubi is literally to bonk them. And I don't know if the developers did that intentionally, but it is very funny. We're literally just gonna go bonk them. And that's the solution. That's actually the solution. Okay, so we can continue upgrading our houses as well to keep increasing our labor. But I do want to get to Purgatoria level 3, which is going to take 800 bones. Do we even have that level of storage? No. If I wanted to store more bones, I have to turn off storage of something. So I can turn off storage of rust. We don't need to store that much. That increases our max storage to 800 here. I don't think we need to store that much ember either. Oh, but let's make it for now, because I don't want to lose the resources. Okay, so as rust comes in, let's switch that to rust production. We will slowly accumulate bones as well. All this is being constructed. I think I've placed down everything I need. So beyond that, it is just, yeah, rust to upgrade houses and upgrade bloody pumps, I think. Yeah, so we just need lots of rust. I could double produce rust for a while. It costs waste and blood, which we do have enough of. I'll let this bones process take over. Switch to rust. Let's double produce rust. And do I need to build anything else? Resources, storage, security. No, I think we're okay. Our population's nearing 1K. So I think we use all those resources to upgrade houses. Okay, used it up. We're going to have a total of 24 houses. Each one at level 3 houses 36 people. That should be a good 1,000 something. I mean, currently, total tomb capacity is 608. Purgatoria can hold 450. Upgrading, does it increase? It does also increase the capacity if we upgrade Purgatoria itself. But let's get all our houses upgraded first. Because if we have enough spare workers, we can just send them to build on the mission objective and everything. I think that's level 3 for all of those. Let's upgrade these. Good. We are actually way overproducing waste with the mines. So we produced the sentries. We've got that. So the sentries are now actually going out and hitting the succubi. You may see them around. You can see like things like this happening. Sometimes the siren is going off to calm some stuff. Sentries should be around somewhere. We've got 11 of them. You can actually see like there's some sirens here just walking around. You can see there's a sentry there just fighting something. That sentry just died. So that's not so good, but I think it took the enemy with you. So that the stuff is actually happening. Like if you look closely, you can actually see the stuff happening. There's a lot of like visual detail, which is why some things I assume need to be somewhat a little low poly here and there, because there's actually a lot going on. And it is actually being visually represented. This, yes. So we're now low on embers. Let's switch this to ember production. And then we could start stocking up on bones again. If I wanted to increase storage capacity here, I could upgrade my warehouse. Let's... Oh, we just used up all of our bones. Let's produce some of that. We used up all of our blood, rather. So you see how blood can suddenly be a bottleneck. So I probably want to... I need embers to build more bloody pumps. So I think I need to go to embers. If I wanted to upgrade bloody pumps, it costs embers and rust. This is level 2. Let's make that level 3. That's level 2, that's level 2, that's level 3. So yeah, let's max out our bloody pumps so that we produce a lot more blood. Blood I can then turn into bones. Bones I can turn into upgrading Purgatoria, which gets us more sinners, which gets us more blood. Greedily, thank you so much in chat. Very kind of you to say. So I want to max out our bloody pumps. I can build one more here if I get a bit more embers there. So that's going to be a total of 12 bloody pumps, and then I want to upgrade all of them. So that is embers and rust. These are both producing embers. We have a good amount of rust. How much does it cost to upgrade? 40 rust, 20 embers. So we just need both. Let's get all our bloody pumps upgraded as much as possible. Okay, all these houses have been upgraded. Those are upgraded to level 2. Total housing capacity. So we've got a lot of free labor right now, so I can send more over to work on this thing. Let's send like another 100 over to work on this Damsel of Distress lift. You can see it's slowly building. It's at 4%. It's like a monument. Now, in terms of eliminating the succubus, we are using up quite a lot of our weapons. I think I need to increase... Since I have free labor, I'm going to increase labor in the blacksmith. I'm going to increase labor on the brewery as well to make sure we continue producing enough liquor. Okay. Soldiers will periodically consume liquor as upkeep. Yep. These other things are used for other stuff. Okay. We're short on rust, and we're short on rust because I'm not producing any rust. We were quadruple using waste for a bit there. Okay. So you see how this is one of those games where you always want more of everything. More of everything could be really useful. That's just what a dead hope sounds like. Okay, good. Armory. How much spare workers do we have? I could increase my armory storage just a little bit there. Unlock sides as well. Needle cage, just people screaming. Yep. So I've produced more maces. So I should just be recruiting... Yeah, I'm recruiting like 12 sentries a cycle. I'm low on harps, so we might not be recruiting any sirens right now, which is a bit of a problem. Let's switch this to producing some harps. Let's continue upgrading all our bloody pumps. What am I short on? Still rust? Okay, I think we are pretty much keeping ahead on the blood requirement here, though. So eliminating the succubus, you can see it's quite difficult unless you have a good number of sentries. We have boosted our sentry count there, that's good. And we're producing some harps. We've used up all of our maces. So let's produce a bunch more harps here and then go back to maces. Oh, the maces use rust and embers as well. That's where a lot of my resources are going. Keep these upgraded, keep the blood coming. So we've maxed out the number of bloody pumps we have. We have 68 sentries. There's 57 of those. 27 sirens walking around. Okay. Using up a lot of our rust. This is 60 to upgrade. That's level 3. That's level 3. These are all... Those are level 2. This is level 1. This is level 1. I want to upgrade these two to level 2. These are upgrading to level 2. Yeah, if I get them all to level 2, they should be pretty efficient. Only one level 1 bloody pump. How's our labor? 200 surplus. That's good to see. You produce bones for a bit. Convert that blood into bones. Work your way up to 800 bones required to upgrade Purgatoria. In terms of labor, I could just add another 50 here. Bring it up to 200 laborers working on that thing. And keep in mind, the story hasn't even told me that I need to be working on that thing yet. I am quite ahead of schedule on that thing. Ah, yes, more blood. So this bar here, see, like, some parts of the UI are a little hard to understand. That bar under the blood icon and the blood count there, the red and the green, it sort of shows the balance of how much blood you're producing and how much blood you're consuming. So if the green bar is larger than the red bar, it should be going up, but it's all based on these ticks, right? See, so blood is pumped into your supply when one of these circles finishes. So this will increase it by like 30 something, and that adds 30 something to the count. So it could look like it's going down because it's then being consumed. 6 a cycle are used here, but then it's also 50 used here. So to produce one of these rust, 56 blood goes into this. So it then drops down 56. So the bar is more of an estimate on its flow, but it's not necessarily like in a specific moment, it might seem confusing. Your blood is going down, but the green bar is bigger. So what's going on? You know, because then a bloody pump might at some point, because sinners die during production, it always has to flow new workers to these bloody pumps. And if the workers aren't there, then how much you produce in that bloody pump goes down. So it's like, see, we lost 5 sinners here. And the next cycle goes from producing 19 to producing 14. It will get 5 more when these workers arrive, but the workers might not arrive when this cycle happens. So suddenly, these numbers are constantly fluctuating. And understanding how the numbers work is one complicated. But even once you understand how it works, like controlling that in practice, you can see we've now run out of blood because things just stack up on top of each other. And because I was producing bones here, let's go back to producing embers. That was consuming a lot of blood because to produce bones, it was 100 blood plus 6, so 106 blood per cycle to produce bones. So that really can kill your blood supply. So we do have a good number of sentries. We do have plenty of maces. I'll go back to producing harps here. And that uses up bones to produce the harps, by the way. Like, a lot of these things are used on each other. Let's upgrade that. Then I want to get all of these to level 3 blood if possible. Okay, we need more rust. We are still producing rust. So for those of you who like resource management and production chains, this game is really catering to that crowd. Like, it's really got a lot of detail in terms of resources, which means there's a lot of room for efficiency and optimization. And we all know there is that crowd. So we've got 210 people working at this Damsel of Distress lift. We're at 12% already. But a story beat is coming up. Now remember, we don't have to accomplish these goals by the time the next stage happens. It's just kind of telling you, this is pretty much what you should have been doing during this phase if you want to work towards victory. But if we miss this, it's okay. Like, to really kill 25 succubi, you need to really keep your sentry count up. So maybe even building more sentry chambers and stuff. This is level 3. This can become level 3. So all of the bloody pumps on this side will be level 3. Then I can focus on turning these into level 3 bloody pumps. You have issue with flipping the production on buildings back and forth. Isn't it better to build more cauldrons and have each making a different resource? You could. So what you can do is, I have 2 cauldrons at 50 workers each. You could have... Hold on, I got a math. So you could have 6 cauldrons, 10 or 20 workers each. and it will be producing all the resources. And it does consume this per cycle. So if the production gets stuck because the storage is full or whatever, it stops using the blood. So you can definitely build more cauldrons, set them all on one of each resource, and then reduce their workforce to 10 or 20 each. So that can be done. Or you just have to build them. So each cauldron, hold on, there's a story beat here. Each cauldron costs, you can have a total of 12 cauldrons, by the way, so you can have 2 for each resource. It just costs, not that much actually, 80 embers. So I'm okay switching the resource, but you don't have to play like that. So all pandemics are 25% cheaper, but take 30% longer to cool down. They're more expensive, but cool down faster. I'm gonna make them cheaper. So pandemics are things like this. So there's this pandemonium. So the pandemonium is where you can cast spells. So to cast spells, you need to research a spell. So at the Dreadful Tree, which I did touch on earlier, there's 3 tech trees. These are upgrades. These are spells you can cast. This is different type of upgrades. So these are like building upgrades. These are logistical upgrades, like sinners move faster, you know? So right now, it's asking us to unlock a couple things. So one thing that I did test with, so there's a spell you can cast. Sinners no longer die during this pandemic. So the pandemic of sloth, the majestic sloth. So what I mentioned earlier, where if all your bloody pumps are consuming sinners, and Purgatoria can't keep up with processing souls into sinners, then your population stagnates. Even if you have the capacity to house more people, you can't ever increase population. But you can cast the spell of sloth, where sinners don't die. So what happens then is the bloody pump still produces resources, but the sinners don't die during production. So you could just periodically cast a sloth spell to increase your total population. You could do it like that, and I did test the game. It does work like that. For now, I'm going to unlock Wrath. There we go. It's gonna take some time to research, and it cost hemoglobins to do that research. These are all level 3. I'm still bumping up our blood production. There's 3 more to upgrade to level 3. So once we unlock a spell, I can select it here and cast it, and it costs mercury to cast it. So that's where these resources come into play. In terms of our workforce, we have 200 surplus, should be fine. This thing over here, there's actually a count, like a bar here showing the progress of its construction work. We're at 16%. Like, I could just increase my population even more, but I feel like I want to upgrade Purgatoria. If we can ever get those bones manufactured. What am I have a lot of this, so let's produce some bones. So see, that turns 106 blood into 39 bones. That's the formula there, and it takes 24 seconds. So that can really just suck up your blood supply. Okay, only 1 more bloody pump to upgrade. But I think this research, is it done? Oh, you gotta process the souls to finish researching. So souls processed means you gotta use souls, but with all our bloody pumps, I think we're using up a lot of souls. There we go. All our bloody pumps upgraded to level 3. So we'll have maximum blood soon. We do have a total resource building cap, by the way. 12 being used up by bloody pumps. So in terms of the balance of the game, I think bloody pumps could probably produce a bit more blood. How to cast the pandemics, yes. So a lot of those video tutorials do show you what to do. So here's the Wrath pandemic. So what the Wrath pandemic does is it makes enemies easier to kill. So we do have 86 sentries and there's like 49 succubi. If I cast this, oh, I gotta select it and cast it. Wrath is now activated and we should start to see succubi numbers dropping. Okay, as the Wrath is cast, we should see the succubi go down. Now this Tribute to Heavens, sometimes I ignore this. This is something that's explained in the first mission. If you send this stuff to the heavens, there's some benefits and less problems. But it's not essential, and I gotta build a whole thing, and I gotta send all these resources over, so I tend to not worry too much about that Tribute to Heavens. Okay, so I produced some mercury here so that we can keep casting the pandemics. So we started at 49 succubi. Should see that go down soon enough. Let's go back to producing maces here. All my bloody pumps are now fully upgraded and running. I think these houses can be upgraded. Let's get these to tier 3. So all our houses are going to be tier 3. I then have a good amount of bones. So let's double produce bones. Let's use up all of our bones, all of our blood, to try and get to 800 bones, which we can store a total of 800. In terms of labor, I mean, we could do with more labor. I could pop more houses down this side. Like, we could just do a row of houses on here. No, 8 houses on that far side there. So we can continue to increase our population, which we are now at 1,200. Close enough. It's rounding up. But yeah, available labor could be higher. Oh, look how fast we're getting bones. And our blood supply is actually holding out. Okay. I think our Wrath spell has ended for a bit. We're down to 37 succubi. It also is saying we can research another pandemics. So let's research Sloth. It takes some resources there, and it takes processing of souls. Now, the actual upgrades here, what do these cost? Oh, we can't research that tech while it's researching a spell. It's fine. We're at 667 bones. We're getting like 40 bones a cycle here. Uses up a lot of blood, though. Things caught fire. That delays production. So we're down to 32 satyrs. Can I cast the spell again? I can. Cast it again. So we should be able to clear the sadists. I think we can do this, but it does want us to cast a different pandemic as well. Like another 2 different pandemics. So we'll research another one after Sloth as well. Bones 790. So we can go back to producing embers there. 830. We can actually upgrade Pandemonium to the next level. Yes! Level 3. Our armory can't hold harps anymore. How's our labor? We're a little short, actually. These houses will upgrade. These houses down here have been built. We can get these tombs all upgraded. We just need rust. Yeah, rust and embers. So by the way, this is all going really smoothly. And it's because I've played this game a significant amount. So I know how things work. How do we get rid of the shallows? So the macemen do fight these. The macemen, the sentries do fight all of them. So they deal with the shallows as well. Upgrading tombs. Using up our rust. By the way, there is an uncast button if you want to like stop a spell from happening. For any particular reason. Maybe to cast another spell. You can see like there's a sentry down here. Walking around. If they come across an enemy, they will deal with it. So we're down to 25 succubi. Have we managed... No, I haven't researched that yet. We're refilling on mercury. Let's produce some mercury. The upgrade confirmation sound is a little unsettling. I think it's the spell expiring sound. Gonna cast Wrath again. So I think this count here, eliminate sadists using Wrath. I think that's just not counting right now. That might just be a bug, but they are going down, so it's definitely working. And the more of these you clear, the fewer problems and more efficient your city runs. So for example, these shallows, they steal resources. So sometimes your resources can just go down because a shallow ate it. Right? It's something that you have to consider. Oh, and you can see we suddenly lost a lot of population. And I'm not entirely sure why that happened. But because our Purgatoria building is high level, we can recover that quite easily. So there's still some things that I'm like, not sure why that number changed. But yeah, we'll recover that quite quickly. I think everything is running okay, actually. Total of these houses. Do we have the resources to upgrade these? What am I producing here? Rust. All right. So this is where we would want to get the sloth pandemic, because if we can cast that, then we can recover population very quickly, because it stops all sinners from dying. So I think at this point, I can actually begin speeding up the game, because I think things are actually running fine. So we can start upgrading these to level 3 as well. So the succubi are down to sub 10. So we've cleared pretty much all of the enemies. So we don't need to do Wrath anymore. Purgatoria has been upgraded to level 3. That does then process souls much faster. Is this actually working? That might still be working. I'm unsure. I did drop some frames at some point. I'm not sure when. So if the stream froze, do refresh. Okay, let's see. We've actually got plenty of this. Let's produce more of those to get these houses all maxed out. What am I short on? Alright, I can still do it. Embers mostly. So our total tomb capacity is 1,100. with Purgatoria's capacity at 500 something. So we could have quite a lot of sinners. Oh, you can upgrade this dreadful tree. I think this might be a little stuck. Because this is not researching correctly. Oh, there's a whole tech tree up and down. Oh, I see it's connected. It's one thing. I see. Yeah. I see how that's working. But okay, with Purgatoria at level 3, we can process souls much faster. And it seems like we have wiped out the enemies, so we're good there. We got some surplus labor. Very nice. Let's produce these things. What does this need? We can start producing the other resources as well. Let's see, the brewer produces more, the cauldron produces more. Cauldron, 100%. We need the cauldron for everything. Okay, yep. So it's telling me about the other things in the tree there, which I have shown you already. And I might be able to fix this if I refresh the game or something. I might have to do that. Because to unlock these things, it does allow me to, it says not available. Refinery capped at 5 buildings, 20%. Am I allowed to? Yeah, I think I'll try refresh the game and see if I can unstuck this. There we go, unstuck. So yeah, if there's any problems with the prologue, refresh the game. So I actually did just finish researching Sloth. I could research another one, or I could start researching some of these techs. For example, this. We can expand down this pathway. That is going to start costing... I think it costs... Actually, we learned. Okay. Sinners move 5% faster on Blood Pass. It costs 500... 500 cries? I don't even... I gotta start storing cries. Here. I'll upgrade my warehouse so I can actually store 500 cries. Because it costs 500 cries to even do a research. Let's upgrade these final houses. Is there anything else we could be building here? So I've maxed out on bloody pumps. I don't think I need more of these. Total population. I think we can house more. But I think we are using up sinners as soon as I get them. So let me get some mercury down. Is this upgraded? Yes, we now have 500 cries. Let's select the lore. Let's make our sinners move faster. And we can spend acid to speed up research. So let's produce some acid with our cries as well. We don't need a lot. It's just 10 acid to speed it up. And then let's cast Sloth. So that stops sinners from dying. So that should just get our population going up. So if we're maintaining population, and then you cast Sloth, your population goes up, and then it can maintain at the new level. So it's a good spell to have. So we're touching 1.3k now. That's good. I could, of course, increase our population even more. which I will. Just extend the road straight out like this. Bam. There we go. That should be enough. We don't need our population to be that high. Let's go back to producing... No, liquor, please. We have 8... Okay, my bloody pumps have definitely done fine. We've way overproduced blood. So I think that's okay. That's probably why we've been using up so much of our resources. All enemies are dead as well. So what do I need to boost up here? Can do some crystals, I guess, because those are used on harps, which I can produce some. If I wanted to produce scythes, I could do that as well. Let's increase our storage capacity in our armory. I don't think I need more storage capacity on much else. I could do that. One thing that this game could do with is a mass upgrade button, because there's a lot of houses to upgrade. A Malaysian game, cool. Yeah, actually, I didn't want to focus on it, because it should stand on its own. But coincidentally, like, this was sponsored, but I didn't know they were Malaysian at the start, because I was approached by a PR agency. Let's put another 100 in here. This is made by Malaysians. Coincidentally. Let's unlock another tech here. I think there's one here. Sinners just move 5% faster. Cost 300 cries, which we luckily have. Okay. I think we are keeping ahead on pretty much everything here. Make some harps. We could do some bones. I could increase storage, I guess. Let's increase our warehouse storage again. Let's upgrade that. The granary can't be upgraded. But let's just allow the granary to hold all the stuff. Do we need to be holding all these things? Probably not, right? Like, we don't have to hold 800 embers. I way overproduced that. Let's hold some rust. I think that was the tech completing. Souls move faster but increase agitation. I don't want that. Blood path now costs less. Sinners move faster by 10% when sadist population is less than soldiers. Oh, that's actually good. Let's make our way down the path there. Let me finish upgrading all these houses. And I think this should be the last population boost that we need to do. Because this should get me a lot of people. Storage is full. Storage being full is a good problem to have. Okay. Next chapter, it then unlocks the upgrading of this stone. So this costs 600 embers. Wow. Okay. What was I doing? You get to producing embers. So producing embers and rust, yeah, which we need for everything. Embers, we can hold 600. It costs 600 to upgrade this. The next thing, ice reduces agitation rate, fire reduces the turning rate. I'm gonna make ice better. So in case you're confused about this, so we just unlocked the ability to upgrade this. See, it does explain it. The weight stone can now be upgraded and turned to different modes. So on ice mode, the souls get unhappy slower. So you see the happy souls are like pale blue, they turn yellow, then turn red. The longer the wait here, the more unhappy they get. So ice will slow that process. Fire will stop the red ones from turning into sadists. Well, will slow that process. So it's actually both good, but I figure ice makes more sense because if the souls don't get unhappy, they don't turn into sadists anyway. Right? That makes sense, right? So our total population now is like 1,005. We have like 300 spare. So you know what? Let's just max out the people working on this thing. We're going to be so far ahead. So because I've been playing this game in my own time, I am actually pretty competent at it right now. I'm going to cast Sloth. Stop all sinners from dying. That should max out our population since these houses have now reached tier 3. I can now upgrade this. So this is now going to upgrade the weight stone. Limit the number of souls that become sadists. Reduce the turning rate by switching the fire. In terms of laborers, we could increase our soldier population if we wanted to. I could always build an extra sirens crypt and a sentry's chamber. Just increase our soldier population a little bit because things can get dicey in the future. Produce some mercury so we can continue casting spells. Spend acid to speed things up. So we have now unlocked ice. But we can upgrade again, which needs 800 embers, which I don't think we can store that much. I gotta build another keep. Storage. There's a lot of spare room here. Let's build a keep. Let's build another warehouse as well. Can I fit one here? I don't have the embers for it. Just gonna build another keep to increase my storage. We'll double produce embers so that I can try get to 800 here. Now you can switch it back to stone and then morph it. So stone increases the soul conversion rate to sinners. So in terms of increasing our population, you want to leave it on stone. But we're just switching it back to stone here. But I think our population is fine. So this now has maximum employment, 500. It's actually going to be done anytime. This keep will increase our storage capacity for everything nicely. Do I need anything else? So this is also only mission 2 of what's supposed to be 7 missions. So we're not exploring everything in this one. But I think I've covered most things quite nicely. Free labor, about 200. If I extend the road out here, I could just build more tombs, because why not? Any other lores? So we increased this movement speed of... This is what I want. Sinners move faster if we have more soldiers than enemies. That's almost always the case. So increasing the speed of sinners moving around increases everything. So it was like a 5%... What was it? It was a... we did 5% increase there. 5% increase there if they move on a blood path. and then 10% here. So when they're walking on the blood paths, our people now move 20% faster, which essentially will translate to a 15 to 20% increase in everything, right? We can upgrade this again. There we go. Resources all flowing on in. These houses all getting constructed. Let's upgrade them all. Some things on fire. Rangda is unhappy. There we go. Got a nice 11k blood in our blood pool. Speed that up for a bit by spending 10 acid. Alright, so things have... We actually set this to fire now. This has been upgraded. Limit the number of souls that become sadists. So that is actually what the fire one is meant to be doing. But you can see we're kind of going through the story pretty competently now. So I think we can just kind of really max things out and absolutely dominate this mission. I think that was our research completing. So anything else we want right now? I don't have to... All souls and sinners reduce speed by 5%. Agitation reduced. We don't want that. Some of these are like stuff we don't want. Security buildings will be built faster. Yeah, let's unlock that. And speed it up. Why not? So with all those new houses... you know what? As they build, they're about to be kind of on the way there. I'm just gonna cast Sloth. Because why not? So what are we? We've got plenty of these. You go on that. So I don't mind managing these, but what we could do is what was proposed earlier. If I go to Resource and Cauldron, if I build 4 more of these, where can I fit them? There's a bit of a rock there. This isn't the best place for them. If I maybe extend the road out like this. I think they're 4x4s. I could connect this up like that. Might as well connect this up as well. And then if I wanted to... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just using up a lot of sinners here. Because I did increase my population quite a bit. Total tomb capacity is 1,800. So this way I can just set all of these cauldrons. I need 1 more, I think. I'm just short on sinners because all of these do take up... All of these take up a lot of resources. So I'm gonna set to... no, you set to bones, you set to rust, you set to... Okay. Embers, rust, bones, mercury, crystal, One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I overbuild? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was going for 8. There's only 6 resources. Let's salvage 1. Get rid of you. Okay, so now these are all using 50 employees each. I say employees, they're laborers. I'm going to reduce them all to like 10 each. Because we don't need to be producing everything at maximum speed at this point. I'm going to drop all of them by 40. So there's 10 laborers in each cauldron. And we now should no longer need to swap our resources, because everything will always be produced at all times. There we go. That should free up the laborers. It's a bit disorganized, but I made it fit. Yes. The next monster. It's always about the heads, isn't it? It's always about the number of heads. Okay, these things attack our sentries, but we are pretty prepared for pretty much anything at this point. We've got so many sentries, so many sirens. Construct more resource structures, sacrifice sinners for primary resource, limit the number of sinners that die from sadist attacks. So I think we're just pretty much good to go. Sirens cost further reduced, but chance for a soul to turn into a shaker is increased. All sadist units die 10% faster, but agitation... we'll put sadist units die faster. What is that? It's the double-headed, hunched-over biped. I'm gonna set this to ice, I think. So in terms of our labor, we've got 100... Excuse me, something's in my throat. There we go. We're floating about 100. I don't know, we could... Because I've done this, we are now slowly producing everything as long as there's storage for it. I no longer have to switch resources. Is this actually fully constructed? This is actually fully constructed. I'm just going to let 500 laborers just sit in this thing, because we have fully constructed it. And I don't think I have to deal with much here. I've kind of gotten ahead of the problem. Let's just cast Wrath to make sure they all die. So we've got these 25, 26 shakers left over with Wrath, and like we have 100 sentries and 100 sirens that should deal with them. This reduces turning rate, so this just reduces the number of sadists, yeah. So I think a lot of my sinners were just killed. These shakers, they kill our sinners, so that's why our population is going down somewhat. We failed this goal. 75 straight away died. So I think the only way to make us more powerful now is to build more tombs. Because as these enemies come in and attack us, we lose people. So let's just increase our population even more. A nice thing for me in this game is we don't have to feed our people, because technically our people are our food source? Question mark? That makes sense. I've lost some scythes. So I produced like 100 scythes earlier. And just sort of in preparation. But you can see the number went down because I guess some shallows ate the scythes. Let's just keep upgrading everything. Yeah, technically our people are our food. Because the units that consume liquor are our soldiers. And liquor are made from cries. And cries are made from poking sadists. So our people are our food supply. I think that is a fair thing to say. That is correct. So all our resources look very stocked up, huh? So this is another 36 per house, I think. I'd like to hit 2K population. The old people is emergency rations plan. Yes, exactly. Okay, so things seem a little clicky at this point because I've actually I played this a bit too hard. I've gone and really dominated this mission quite extensively. These are all hitting level 3, yeah, so these are all hitting level 2. Like, let me go ahead and just cast... I've wiped out all the enemies. Let's cast Sloth, make sure people stop dying. This should just increase our population even more. Okay. Total tomb capacity is over 2,000. So we just need to increase our population. In terms of upgrading Purgatoria, I don't even know if it's allowed in this sanctions. Purgatoria can be upgraded to beyond level 3, not available in this mission. So this mission doesn't allow us to upgrade Purgatoria further. So I'm just trying to boost my population somewhat. We can support 2,000 people, but increasing the population to that point is a little tricky. Because I think we are just consuming a lot of everything. We've got 16,000 blood. I really... You know, understanding how blood works in this game is confusing, but once you get it, it's like, oh, okay. Makes sense. I don't think I need to construct more resource structures either. Just casting Sloth. Something's going on. Oh, we're being invaded. By the way, I think this particular sequence doesn't have sound yet, which is fine. But, oh no, we have a new unit. That's what this one is. This is a Reaper unit, which allows us to reap these. Teleports behind you. Nothing personal. We can now train Stalkers. Significantly increases the death rate of sadists. So there's 50 Shakers around. We can definitely deal with them. We just need a barracks, which we can pop somewhere that fits. I think I need to build over here. And we need housing for Wrath, reduce cost, reduce cooldown. Though I think we are dominating a little bit. So I think we might be able to just go ahead and put down Stalker's Catacombs. Let's do that. Produce some maces here. Population is 1,700. We might be able to slowly creep up to 2K. But yeah, we're gonna get a bunch of Stalkers down. A bit overproducing as well. Summon Stalkers, produce Scythes. Yeah, we've produced... Let's produce one. Oh, I have no storage space for Scythes. There we go. I think at this point we can skip ahead to the main issue of dealing with the boss. Okay, so we're in the next chapter now, and you get to build these defensive buildings. So the problem is I'm kind of using up way too many people. I'll pick that one. Using up way too many people, so I kind of... And these sadists... kill... I'm gonna cast... Let's cast Wrath. No, let's cast Sloth. Try keep our people alive. These sudden invasion of succubi and shakers starts killing our people, which reduces our ability to build things. So we can build these poison vineyards now. And we can build these sentinels. And constructing these structures, they run out. So you build these things and they have a certain charge to them. But they eliminate enemies as they hang around. So you just want to scatter these buildings around. So as the sadists are walking around your city, you can wipe them out. Now, I am leaving 500 laborers in this thing because it's just... I don't want to take them out in case we need to put them back in. So it's saying build 3 poison vineyards, construct some sentinels, and then just eliminate all of these enemies. Yeah, okay, so nothing too complicated. Can I fit a sentinel? Yeah. Good. Maximum building cap reached. Okay. So if I speed that up, and then you can see some of these be constructed, and I should also maybe cast Wrath to help kill these sadists. The Poison Vineyard puts out spiky plants, which kill them, and then the Sentinels actually just shoot lasers. So if you see an occasional laser, look at that, just bam, killed one. Just wiped one out right there. Bam, killed another. So you actually, like, it's hard to see them specifically hanging around your city. But there you go, that's gonna start killing things. You can see the count go up. The Poison Vineyards, you can see they start sprouting these vines around, and if an enemy walks into them, they die. Okay, we're hitting the chapter 10 here, reddening, and it is... I've done a number of things. You can see my population is now insanely high, and it's kind of because I was looking through the tech tree, and I saw there's this one, soul conversion into sinners is increased 10%. I also went ahead and got this, sinners' health has been increased by 10% as well. And that means you can see here, this... hold on, it's the... I gotta pick something here. Increase stalker population by 20%. Increase siren population. Decrease stalker population. Increase stalker population. You can see the population reflected change immediately. But to compensate for that, it's okay. Destroy as many statuses as possible. I've completely dominated this mission. I'm just gonna build another Siren's Crypt to compensate for that loss of siren population. But you can now see, because I got that upgrade, souls get turned into sinners 10% faster. The way it's actually processing right now is instead of this moving 10% faster, it cuts off at about 90%. And then we just get the sinners. And just from that, it allowed us to then have a surplus of sinners, and we're actually touching 2,900 with 1,300 available laborers. We've just gone way over the top on this mission. So it's now saying the Damsel of Distress must be finished, which I did a long time ago. But yeah, if you need help dominating these missions a little bit, have a look at the tech tree. There's some stuff here like that really works. Like the fire effectiveness is increased. Soul conversion into sinners is faster by 20%. Can I get this? Like I can do this and then just get even faster souls into sinners. It's like so good. But right now I just have to survive these trials. And it says destroy as many sadists as possible. Make sure you have more soldiers than sadists by the end of the stage. So this is the point where we need to hit these objectives. Otherwise we will lose the game. So these are more important. We can't miss these ones. I think I will very clearly have more souls versus sadists. But just in case, in terms of preparation, I'm going to go ahead and scatter some poison vineyards around in case there's a sudden invasion. Let's go ahead and pop a couple sentinels around as well. There we go. There we go. In terms of these upgrades, we're learning this one, which is the Titan Choker, which I'm not really messing with much. I wanted to get the soul conversion into sinners upgrade, which was this one. Soul conversions into sinners is fast at 20%. And yeah, with these cauldrons all producing slowly, just a little bit of everything, it is keeping all of our resources going. But in terms of the resources that we use up, I think I can actually boost the laborers up to max. We're also a bit short on this. So let's boost the laborers up to max there. It's not like we're short on laborers. We have 1,200 spare. Okay, but the next phase is going to be the final boss thing that we have to deal with. So let's just go ahead into that. All right, we're finally hitting the final boss level here, the boss stage. I built a few more tombs just so we get up to 3,000 population. I'm gonna build one more just to make sure we stabilize at 3,000. And here we go. Going into the final phase. Rangda, getting really upset at us, starts setting everything on fire. So we're gonna have to drown this caldera. We're just gonna fill it. Our big statue. Our Chad statue got destroyed. But just for context, I have been absolutely dominating this run. So I'm like way ahead of everything. So what we have to do in this phase here is keep our sinners alive. So I'm going to cast Sloth. And you can see that this is now gonna start destroying the dam to flood the caldera. Sinner's health increased, stalker attack frequency increased. Sinner's health increased. Because right now, we have completely wiped out all the enemies. I also preemptively built defensive structures. Upgrade this house, because I want to stabilize at 3,000 population. Because why not? I have 1,500 available laborers. None of our sinners are dying because I immediately casted Sloth. So I just wanted to show that you can absolutely dominate this mission. But if you play this mission for the first time blind, you might actually lose quite easily. So none of our sinners can die. And you can see as soon as Sloth runs out, sinners start dying at a pretty hefty rate. By the way, there's also techs in here which make your sinners more powerful or live longer or whatever, which is stuff we can research, but I think we're powerful enough at this point. Upgrade this to maximum. There we go. We're now solidly over 3,000 sinners. In terms of weapons, let's make sure we keep up our weapon production. I built this to start producing a stable flow of tonics because I didn't even realize the Babel of Lies uses tonic to actually keep going. All right, let's drown Rangda here. If I keep casting, what am I short on? This resource? Let's really assign more workers there. Because I'm actually short on Mercury to cast Sloth. Come on, give me some stuff. Give me the Mercury. Do I not have storage for this? Where is it stored? Increase storage for Mercury. There we go. My storage actually filled up with other stuff. There we go. So this is just a tracker. I assume that's like a temporary way to track this objective. Don't lose more than 1,500 sinners. That should be easy enough. This is now destroying the dam. And it's processing its way with our 500 laborers. But you can see laborers get lost as they as they work on this. So that supply needs to be constantly replenished. So that's another source of our sinners being lost. Okay. When sloth is not active, we lose people, but it's okay. We're at 50% of destroying this. In terms of enemies, I'm pretty sure we've killed everything that shows up immediately. We're a bit low on harps. We're at 70% on destroying this wall. Okay. We should be quite ahead of schedule here. $77%. And it's kind of an interesting symmetry. In the first mission, if you lose, you get flooded because you're dealing with Namazu, the Earth Shaker, and it causes tsunamis. In this one, you are doing the flooding. So like I lost the first mission, and like, oh, okay, well, my whole kingdom got flooded. 86%. It's coming along. Sloth is still keeping us alive. We've only lost like 4. I think this is counting up to the next one. Yeah, it's like we've lost like 450 out of a maximum of 1,500. I did refresh the game, so that might throw off some of this counting. But I'm pretty sure we're just gonna win here. 86%. So this particular bar does jump up at various intervals. 95%. And we're still holding a solid 3,000 population. Oh, we actually ran out of sides. So our stalker population has been going down. No worries. There we go. But yeah, building 6 cauldrons was a good call. Ah, have we done it? We're at 100%. I assume it's at 99% and it'll tick over on the next tick. Oh, I see. There's a red bar here. So in the free prologue, there's some things that are still just demonstrated on the UI. So this red bar will fill up, and then once the red bar fills here, we should win this mission. And I've stopped it at, only lost 300 sinners, I think. Oh, no, I think I reset this number by refreshing the game. So I think we lost 590 sinners, so technically I should be there. So some of these things are still a little off in the free prologue, but it's a free prologue. So yeah, thank you so much to Metropolis for sponsoring this. And if you want to check out the game, just try the free prologue. Like, it's not a game to buy or anything. They just want you to try the game because they're trying to figure out how to communicate the mechanics of this game mostly, because The mechanics all make sense, but communicating how and why things work the way they do, it's complicated. Trying to explain how a new type of game works, where yes, it's a city builder, but also it's a little strange. So any feedback you could leave them is also great. So there's no particular referral link, just check The Hell City Builder of the Dead out on Steam. And now let's drown Rangda. Here's all our sinners. It's a very weird angle to place a pickaxe to break a wall. But we do bonker. They look like they're having fun. Yeah, it's just a joy pulling giant metal chains. So I may have played a little too hard and dominated this mission a bit too handily. But it's in stark contrast to Mission 1, where I just lost. There's my city. And Rangda is now no more. But yeah, there you go. That was The Hell, Mission 2. If you'd like to check it out, just find it on Steam, The Hell City Builder of the Dead. It's a free prologue. There's the main Steam page, but then there's the free prologue page. So you can just try the game yourself and see what you think. You can wishlist it if you find it interesting, or just let the developers know what you found cool and what you found difficult to understand. And they're just, you know, figuring out how to communicate everything. You can see how I dominated this mission because I understand how the game works. So it's just getting the information across. And once that is delivered, like the mechanics are there, they work, they make sense, but explaining it all in the UI, that's a whole endeavor. So that's a work in progress, and they could do with your feedback and wish lists, of course. Thank you so much to Metro Police for sponsoring us today, and thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and found this interesting and or useful, and I will see you in the next video.